Goat Squid TV. We back, bitches. I got a lot of hate in that MPJ video, man. I tell you, and there was a lot of out of context. I made a video responding to it. I'm not worried about it. You got a lot of loser ass people on here just criticizing my channel and trashing me like on a personal note over like a difference of opinion. Before I even get into this video, just make sure you want to sit there and say I don't know shit about basketball. Just know when you were in your diapers or just even an adult in your pop's testicle, I was watching basketball and I was playing basketball. So before you want to sit there and say I don't know anything about basketball because you're a stat nerd, just know at the end of the day, I'm probably old enough to be your pops. So you little 18, 19-year-olds that get all mad and get hot bothered, just understand context and respect the platform you're on. Don't go on these platforms and just start popping off out the mouth with like no type of context. Listen to the video. So I'm gonna do a video on my man Devin Booker. Made the All-Star team this year. And to me, he's having a MVP type of season. So he's putting up 47 games so far. They're second in the West. And I know they're probably not going to go too far in the playoffs, but he's making a case for MVP, man. He's got 26 points per game, 4.5 assists, 49.4% field goals, 35% from three, 85% from the line. And his win shares are 4.0 right now. You know what I mean? He's a really good player heading into greatness. He's only 24. Obviously, he played for Kentucky. Nobody expected him to be this great until they seen him in the league. When he had that 70-point game, I think that's when people started really paying attention. But you're now starting to see with a guy like Chris Paul, who's a veteran, who's a general, who's a point guard that really knows what he's doing, a guy that, whether you like him or not, he knows how to run a team, man. He's a guy that really knows how to run a team and knows how to run an offense. And Monty Williams trusts him. Monty Williams coached Chris Paul back in New Orleans. DeAndre Ayton might be having a down season offensively, but we'll get to him in a minute. But Devin Booker's an MVP candidate, man. I don't know why nobody's talking about him. His team's not supposed to be second in the West, man. You know, that's stacked-ass Western Conference. You mean to tell me Devin Booker isn't an MVP candidate? He might not win it, but can you tell me he's not a candidate at least? I don't never hear ESPN or hear any of these outlets ever talk about him being an MVP candidate. Those numbers tell me MVP. He might not be like the leading scorer in the league for whatever reason, but his numbers are super duper efficient. 49.4% from the field. 3-point shooting is 35%. 85% from the free throw line. With a 19.8 PER. Now, I'm not a stat dude. I don't really like to rely on stats so much. So I look at the eye test. And when I see the eye test, I see a guy that's leading his team defensively and offensively. And Devin Booker was never really known in the beginning of his career for being the best defender, to where now you see he's really improving. You see a guy now. This is what I mean about when you separate Michael Porter Jr. When I talk about Michael Porter Jr., I'm not saying he's not a talented player, but he's not an all-star yet. Now, if he's an all-star next season, then I'll shut up. If he puts up 35 points a game or 30 points a game or even 25 or 20 in the playoffs this year, puts up a double-double, I'll shut up. But right now, he's still a prospect. He's still a guy with potential, hasn't played a whole season in his whole career. But when he does play, he plays well. His defense is not that great, but he's trying. And I think people took what I said in the last video, obviously, out of context, as I said before. When I look at a guy like Devin Booker, Book is ready. You can tell he's ready. Now, they're probably going to lose in the playoffs this year, but that's going to be, for the next few seasons, he's going to be either in the Western Conference semis or in the conference finals, barring any setbacks. So, as for DeAndre Ayton, man, a lot of people are trashing Ayton. And Ayton's not, putting up the big numbers, but I don't think you guys really understand. DeAndre Ayton he's sacrificing his numbers for the betterment of the team. The dude's an incredible defender, incredible rebounder. And if he wanted to, he could put 20 and 10 up if he wanted to. You'll see his impact in the playoffs. You'll see DeAndre Ayton's impact in the playoffs. But he's sacrificing his numbers right now. He's around 14, 15 a game right now, which I guess some people will sit there and say he's not having that great of a season. But if you put stats away from him and you see what else he does on that court, he's a defensive monster. The dude is a rebounder. He's trying to learn how to shoot the three consistently. I think once he masters that and adds that to his repertoire, then you're going to start seeing him get the superstar status. But I wouldn't pay no mind to his numbers this year. I would look at it as he's sacrificing for the betterment of the team. You don't really need to have a big man to throw it in there, like old school big man, where you just throw it in the post. You need to give him possessions. You don't necessarily need to do that with DeAndre Ayton right now. I think you need to help him expand his game and allow him to expand his game a little further in range. And I'm not really a proponent for center shooting threes. However, I think he could be effective. So I see the Suns' chances, even though they might not go far in the playoffs, I do see them having a good 1 round or 2 rounds because of Devin Booker. Devin Booker should be an MVP candidate. And I think people should take it easy on DeAndre Ayton. Gold Squad TV, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And keep it respectful. Please keep it respectful. Do not come at me sideways. This is just basketball talk. We don't need to sit there and talk about you don't know what you need talking about. Like, y'all need to stop Stephen A. and me, bro. This ain't Stephen A. Smith. We just trying to have some dialogue. We trying to have respectful dialogue here. Gold Squad TV.